if you hear somebody who's supposed to be a wrestling journalist, who's supposed to be criticizing the business and supposed to be a pundit to some extent, and they're so leaning towards always saying the positive about AEW, but always saying so much negative about WWE. Does your antennas go up? Does your antennas go up to your? Does your radar go off? To
Yes.
that doesn't add up, or it does add
Yes.
up if you're watching.
Yep.
Is
I
that your
know.
thought too?
Yeah, and I know a few people. One is a wrestler, one is a non-wrestler that is not, I wouldn't say in that camp, but they're in that world with that journalist where he lives, kind of, like his place, if you will, not physical, but you know what I mean, like that world, that bubble. They both said to me, "Yeah, you got to look into it a little bit further because it's not being paid by a certain somebody; it's being paid by something else that it basically saying that look into this guy and these people are being paid off in one way or another to make it seem like they're bigger than they are."
And that's a media relations or something, a marketing company that's paying those salaries. Let's just say what it is.
Yep.
That's great. I mean, that's a great way to do PR and marketing, but are you really growing your audience with only people that are going to read or listen that are paying over $12 a month
That watch anyway.
that watch anyway?
It's
No, the
very,
answer is
very
no. You
weird.
got to go and figure out why these people are not watching. Why is this guy not? Why is anybody not watching this? But they're fine with what they have.
And why wouldn't you go for like the mainstream, like they did during the Monday Night Wars? The mainstream is how you're really going to kick it in gear and get more popularity. I mean, it's crazy. They don't even care about it.
Well, I tend to disagree, but the application is wrong. You're talking about Snoop, you're talking about Shaq, you're talking about Tyson, every single thing. And Ben, and I hope he's listening to this because it causes him great pain. So you have Brandy, who is on gimmick 7 at this point,
Yep.
throws the water at Shaq's face. Shaq does nothing. He goes away forever. He doesn't come back on TV and have a girl with him or lead or manage the other girl. Then you have Tyson before that, who, I mean, I don't know who's on production or directing this. You get a shot of Tyson
Oh,
yawning
yawning.
and falling asleep
Yep.
during like this thing that's supposed to be a big deal. And then you got Snoop, um, where they basically are like, yeah, you can do a splash. Let me tell you something, John. As somebody who's wrestled for almost 30 years, I've done stuff from the top rope. And I'm looking not very much because when I stand up at the time being 6'3", it's like this is pretty high. And I don't know if I can switch my body up and do whatever. Maybe a
Yep.
double axe handle getting punched in the stomach or whatever. But you're telling a guy to jump off into a splash where he can blow his knees and elbows out. That's kind of irresponsible. That's not playing. And plus, it looked like shit.
Yep.
So you didn't accentuate the strengths of your mainstream celebrity. You didn't have him give the rub to anybody. You just had him do a fun little birthday party spot that he could have gotten really hurt. This is where
True.
I don't understand. They had 3 of the biggest names in sports and music, and you couldn't you couldn't even have them be ambassador and talk about how they love the AEW or any of this other stuff. Am I missing anything? Am I missing about what's missing that they didn't take advantage of?
Well, it's funny. I was thinking like mainstream. I'm just thinking like something to get the mainstream, like to get the mainstream audience interested. And I guess you're right to a point. Those guys should help, but when you use them absolutely horribly and embarrassing and have no idea how to write, I guess using those guys is really, really just it comes off horrible. Like, okay, Tyson got 900,000 viewers, but then they saw him yawning and they saw him drunk and they saw a couple of the other guys, like being foolish. Then they don't even name some like Vitor Belfort. They don't even know his name. So it's like, oh, was that Vitor Belfort? They didn't mention it. Oh, must not have been. Like just in your head, you're like, wow, they just screwed up left and right. And then next week they went right back down to status quo.
And that was during a time when he was going to fight Roy Jones Jr. and they were promoting the fight, which got pretty good buys.
Thank you for watching the Hannibal TV. Please like this video if you enjoyed it and click the subscribe button to not miss any of our latest shoot interviews, match videos, or news updates. Support us on patreon.com for $1.99 a month to watch our full shoot interviews ad-free and help our channel grow. Follow us on Twitter at the Hannibal TV for instant updates.